sisters in Jesus Christ. The theme that we are going to reflect on today is Saint Anne as the plenitude of virtues. Plenitude means fullness. So what we are saying is that Saint Anne is a person in whose life we can find many virtues. Virtues like faith, hope, love, fidelity, patience, compassion, integrity, humility. There are so many virtues, and in the coming days others may speak to you about some of these virtues. I would like to concentrate just on two virtues of Saint Anne. First, humility, and second, integrity. Many spiritual writers tell us that humility is the foundation of all virtues, is the mother of all virtues, and it is the key that opens the treasures of graces. What is the meaning of saying that it is the foundation of all virtues? It is the foundation of all virtues because all the other virtues stand, so to say, on humility. If there is no humility, if a person is not humble, the other virtues will not be able to stand in that person or take root in that person. For example, if a person is not humble, that person cannot have faith. Faith means I acknowledge my dependence on God, I trust God. But if a person is not humble, that person will say, I am sufficient to myself. So that person will not have a genuine relationship to God. So also all the other virtues in some way depend upon humility as their foundation. That is why we say that humility is the foundation of all virtues. Secondly, we say that humility is the key that opens the treasures of graces. Why is it? Because when a person is humble, God knows that every grace given to this person will be used by this person in order to give glory to God and not in order to bring glory to oneself. And because the person is going to use the graces in order to give glory to God, God will keep on showering more and more graces on that person. In fact, the first letter of St. Peter chapter 5 verse 5 says like this: God gives grace to the humble. Again, because it is humility that is the key that opens the other graces, that Jesus invites us to learn humility from Him. Certainly Jesus practiced all the virtues. He was filled with the virtues. But He tells us to look at Him and learn two virtues. Learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart. The Lord is inviting us to learn humility from Him. Matthew chapter 11 verse 29. It is because the humility is so very important that Saint Augustine, when he was asked by a young man, what is the way to God? Saint Augustine said, the first way is humility, the second way is humility, and the third way is humility. And Augustine continued saying, if you were to ask me again, what is the way to God? I will tell you, the first way is humility, the second way is humility, the third way is humility. We have seen the importance of humility. Let us now look at what actually is a humility. Humility is acknowledging and living the truth about myself in relation to God, in relation to others, and in relation to the world. What is the truth about myself in relation to God? The truth about myself in relation to God is that I am a child of God. And if I consider God as the king, then I am a princess. Because the king's daughters are called the princess. So I am a princess. So this is my identity, and this is my worth, and this is my dignity. No one and nothing can take this dignity away from me. Even if I am filled with sin, I still remain a princess. We know the prodigal son went away, sinned, but he came back because he was the child of that father. That nothing can remove from us. So that is our basic dignity, and that is what really gives us our worth, the fact that I am a child of God. That is the first truth about myself in relation to God. At the same time, we also need to realize that in relation to God, I am a creature, and very often I am a sinful creature. And the sinfulness in me makes me feel unworthy, small, contemptible in front of God. It is in front of the goodness, greatness, holiness of God, I feel myself little and worthless and sinful. So in reality, humility is not so much focusing on my littleness, but rather it is focusing on God's goodness and God's greatness and God's holiness. What is the truth about myself in relationship to others? The truth about myself in relationship to others is that I am interdependent, not independent. Some philosophers will say, I am because we are. That means I owe my existence to the existence of others. If other people are not there, I will really not exist. I would not have grown. I would not have become what I am. Now, since I am interdependent, I benefit by the growth of others and I suffer by the ruin of others. Therefore, I will always reach out and support and help others to grow, because when others grow, I benefit. Since we are interdependent, I cannot also take a full credit for anything that I achieve or anything that I do, because every achievement, each achievement of mine is depending upon a host of others, support and help from a host of others. So I will give credit to others. What is the truth about myself in relation to the world? The truth about myself in relation to the world is that I am a steward, not a master. So I care for the world, I nurture it, and I sustain it. When we look at it this way, humility is not about submissiveness and about taking a demeaning attitude to myself. Humility is all about right assertiveness and having a realistic attitude to ourselves. Some people will say humility is about becoming unselved in order to become trans-selved. To become unselved means I diminish the importance I give to myself. To become trans-selved means I go out of myself. Trans means go out to others, to God, to others, and to the world. That is humility. Now, how can we cultivate this humility? In relation to God, we cultivate humility by honoring God as the fullness and the totality of being and perfection. In other words, by having an attitude of adoration, worship, and veneration. Secondly, we express gratitude to God for all the benefits and blessings. Thirdly, we acknowledge our dependence on God. To acknowledge our dependence on God means to say that everything I do with the help of God, and therefore I will never begin anything without really turning to God and asking for God's help. How do I grow in humility in relation to others? First of all, I will rejoice at the virtues and the success of other people. Normally, we have an attitude of jealousy when others succeed. We have an attitude of envy. We need to get rid of jealousy, we need to get rid of envy, and we need really to rejoice at the success of others. Secondly, we must correct the faults and mistakes of others so that they may grow well. And we correct these faults and mistakes not by going and poking them every time, but by praying for them. And thirdly, we consider ourselves as a person who still has to grow in many respects when I look at others. This is not comparing myself with others, but when I look at others, the growth they have achieved invites me also to grow. If others can grow, if others can become, have grown in these ways, it is possible for me also to grow and make my being more complete. And how do we cultivate our relationship to the world? We cultivate our relationship to the world in a humble way by acknowledging that we are a steward and not a master. We cultivate our relationship to the world by really tilling the land rather than exploiting the land. Tilling the land means that we do what is needed in order to make things grow, in order to cultivate things. To exploit means really to destroy the land, the trees, the rivers, the forests that we have. Thirdly, we promote the health of the ecosystem. Today we speak so much about ecology and the importance of ecology. So we cultivate a humility in relation to the world by doing these things. Where does St. Anne come in all what we said now? St. Anne certainly was a person filled with humility. First of all, she was totally related to God. Secondly, she acknowledged and accepted the truth about herself. For many, many years, she was barren. She remained barren. And in that barrenness, people looked at her with contempt. People perhaps thought, okay, she is barren because God is punishing her, because in those days, that was the understanding of barrenness. That if a person did not have child, that means she was a cursed person. But because people said or consider herself in this way, we never see Saint Anne really speaking ill of anybody or hating anybody. She accepted her limitations, the reality about herself with a certain amount of equanimity and peace. And therefore we say that she was filled with humility. The second virtue, very briefly, that I want to deal with is integrity. What is the meaning of integrity? Integral means whole. So, integrity means being in a state of wholeness or being undivided. It means living according to morals and ethical principles. It means doing the right things even when we are alone, when people are not looking at us. Very often, there is a division in us. We present one image in public, but we are someone else in private. That means we are divided. We say one thing to others in public, but we do not practice what we say. We do something else. So again, there is a division in us between what we say and what we do. If that happens, if that is a reality with us, then we are not integral. We are divided. We need to be persons of integrity. We should have only one face, whether it is for the public or when we are in private. What we say, we also should practice in our own lives. This is very important for our life. St. Francis Xavier, when he came to India and he saw that there was such an immense possibility for a lot of missionary work, he wrote to St. Ignatius of Loyola back in Rome, asking him to send more people to do missionary work. But as he wrote, he also put this one sentence: send us men who will know to do the right thing even when they are alone. That should be how we are. Whether we are in public, whether we are alone, whether others are watching us, whether nobody is watching us, we should live by principles. Then we are persons of integrity. As we prepare to celebrate the feast of Saint Anne, let us ask Saint Anne to pray for each one of us so that God may bless each one of us through the intercession of Saint Anne to be humble and to be integral. May God bless you.
Showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead.